and we are joined now via phone by attorney Jonathan Bagan. He's also the chairman of the Caribbean Committee Against Sex Crimes, the president of the Christian Youth Foundation as well. Mr. Bagan, good morning.
Good morning, Rishi. Good morning, Trinidad.
How are you this morning, Jonathan?
I am good, and I'm very happy that this law was actually passed.
Yes, I know that you were a huge advocate for it.
Yes. Before all these politicians were claiming credit, me and Gina Maharaj and Camille St. Omar done this in 2015, regionally.
Yeah. So now one of the things that is standing out with this bill is the fact that as long as it's law, there will be now a list of names of sex offenders. How is that going to work?
So, well, the president has just sent it, and so under Section 48, I believe, of the bill, the court has the discretion to order specific convicted offenders to go on the online website.
Right. Oh, so it's an online website?
Yeah, it's similar to the U.S., except we're not going to put every man on it. We're going to put only the ones the court deems as, like, kind of reformed, absolute monsters, threats to society.
Oh, so I guess we wait to see how that turns out. But it was a historic piece of legislation for Trinidad and Tobago, being now the smallest country to have such legislation.
That is correct, Rishi. Antigua stated that they are working on theirs, but they haven't passed it. And the only country in the world, other than us, to my knowledge, that is going to have a website is the United States. The other countries, such as England and Canada, have registries only open to the police. But we all know how we have some good police officers and some rogue police officers. We can't just trust the police alone at this stage,
So why is it so important, or why was it so important for us to push for this piece of legislation to be passed?
Well, Rishi, we have an extremely high rate of sexual offenses. The entire justice system is that comparison in rate for sex crimes.
And I think we just lost Jonathan. Jonathan, you hearing me?
I said only we have a 2% conviction crime here.
All right, and we seem to be experiencing a little bit of difficulty there hearing Jonathan. So we'll continue. We'll try to continue this conversation in a short while. But as he said, it's a small country, Carrie, that has now basically set a precedent for other countries. And
yes, that's right. As he mentioned, that Trinidad seems to, thus far, we are the second nation that actually has this registry available online, next to the United States. Again, he said in countries such as the UK and Canada, there exists a registry, but they are they're available to the police service only, and it's not open to the public per se. So yeah, that's very interesting an interesting fact and detail there about our new registry that is now in place.
Yeah, and the number of sexual offenses is amazing. It's astonishing how high it is. And so it is important for us to have this, according to Jonathan. And one thing that we need to discuss is that support that we give to victims as well.
That's right.
Because a lot of times, yes, we are focusing now on having this register up and running, but how are we going to assist the victims? And that is a question that I think a lot of people need to answer. I know we have institutions that may offer assistance, but some people aren't willing to come forward, especially if they're abused by, say, a family member or something. So, I mean...
and then there's always, I think, because what he did mention briefly, it was breaking up, but I made out what he said. He said there's currently a 2% conviction rate when it comes to sexual offenses. Mm-hmm. And I think what really, prevents people from making reports many times and stuff. I understand we have Jonathan back on the line, so Rishi, you could continue that.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Hi, Rishi. Hi, everybody.
Yes, so we were talking about the importance for this piece of legislation in Trinidad and Tobago, and you were talking about the 2% conviction rate?
Yeah, we have a 2% conviction rate. The UN studies show that as a region, the Caribbean has 3 of the top 10 rates in the world for rape. Plus, the majority, U.S. statistics say only about 30 to 40% of rapes are actually reported to the police. And we could only imagine, no studies along those lines are done in Trinidad, but we could only imagine only a tiny proportion actually go to the police. So to fix that problem, I'd say in the upcoming budget, we need more funding for NGOs such as Rape Crisis who counsel and support victims.
Yeah. Which is important because then we go into the conversation about, yes, people may not want to report it because of who the person may be in relation to them, but also those reported, how do we offer support to them?
Well, that is touchy because the police has a victims and witness support unit, and we're supposed to have a witness protection program. But if you have to wait 8 years to see a trial, every rape victim, well, we're supposed to call them survivors, you're overcoming, not a victim anymore. So every survivor is, after, like, I talked to them 4 or 5 years into the trial, they're fed up. They just want to move on with their life. So we need to get these trials done in 2 to 3 years so it's not a burden on these people.
So how do we do that? You mentioned funding is one thing that will be able to assist funding for NGOs, but what else can we do to improve how we go about doing this?
Well, I have colleagues, like old classmates who are in the DPP's department, the Director of Public Prosecutions. DPP is so underfunded. They don't even have a website, Rishi. Just the other day, I was saying, let me go on the website and email them something. They don't have a website. In 2019, they are so understaffed. I am waiting months now for a simple 2 or 3 page document from a DPP colleague to advance one of my criminal cases. Like, she always missing the dates, and I understand because they're all overworked. And if you're always, late on all your cases, how are you going to win a trial? So a lot of criminals will be walking free just because you don't have the prosecutors to do the work.
So we talk about budget allocation, we talk about manpower resources for these officers. What are your predictions, though, for the budget?
Oh, my predictions, it's obviously an election budget. We're going to see a lot of roads paved, a lot of handouts. But what we need, one of the things I'm advocating for that we need, I talked to a very well-educated former national security consultant on Saturday. He said the counter-trafficking unit is like the bastard child of national security. It gets ignored. And it does some of the best and most important work in that. Remember, it's not just Venezuelan nationals being smuggled and trafficked. It's Trinidadian women going into these bottles being kidnapped and threatened. So this small unit with their bare minimum funding is in charge of every single woman in Trinidad who is locked up in a brothel. And they have to house them, get them counseling. They need a lot more money to do the job.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jonathan Bagan, for joining us this morning. And we will continue to touch base with him and others as we get closer and closer to the 2019-2020 budget presentation by Minister of Finance, Colm Imbert.